Anna has elicited students' ideas about the distillation in order to understand how they are currently reasoning. The following day, we debriefed with her about how she made students' thinking visible using a whole class model and what she had learned.
And they're like, whoa, there's so many post-its. But then you can see the things that we are explaining, the things that we aren't.
So,
right now.
Anna, just really quickly, are these from 4 different classes?
Yeah. So the post-its are not color-coded by class like you might expect. So we were trying something, they're color-coded by a hypothesis that they had to choose in an entry task. So there were 4 different hypotheses, that's why there's 4 different colors. And yesterday we tried to push them to use the language of that hypothesis to explain different parts of this, which wasn't incredibly successful, but there are a few, I wish that I knew exactly where they were, but there are some that specifically their hypothesis was about the steam, and so they were instructed to use the word steam on their post-it. And so there's some stuff like that. And then I'm grouping them by the thing that it's trying to explain, so it's not necessarily that all these are saying the same thing, but they're all trying to explain what happens when when the frozen Coke melts into the liquid Coke.
So you got a big pile of post-its
Big
there.
packet of different ideas, yeah. And some of them have models on them, and some of them are just words.
But the color coding is for one of
by-
4 theories that they've
Yeah.
got, mini theories?
Yeah.
And one is about pressure.
One is about pressure, and one is about steam. One is about air molecules carrying water molecules. And then the other one is about heat and what heat is. So that's why today we're starting with, if you look at any of these post-its, the word heat or hot shows up on a lot of them. But check this out. The molecules vibrate in a solid, so when the plate was being heated, the molecules were going faster and faster, causing the boiling. That should actually be down here. But so this one they placed on the hot plate, which I thought was interesting, and I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not, because I challenged a couple classes to pick parts that weren't covered by post-its to try to explain, and the hot plate and this empty flask, until it had something in it, were parts that were very much unexplained.
Are you surprised because they're trying to start their model all the way at the hot plate
Yeah.
rather than inside the flask?
Right. And I'm not sure that that's what they're trying to do, because they could have put this close to here because this was solid. It was frozen when we started. I'm not sure, and I don't know whose this is. So I'm not sure if that's what they meant, but it was placed on the hot plate, and then everything else was above. So I'm not sure, but it, it's an interesting question.
They seem to write quite a bit on these post-it notes. There's not like a single word or phrase or like at least a sentence.
Well, that's because one of the pushes at our school this year is that every time you speak or write, you use a complete sentence.
Oh.
So
good.
if you look at any of their journals, they're filled with writing because I've forced them to write in complete sentences.
Yeah.